Hey there, and welcome. So, you're ready to get your website out into the world, and you keep hearing this term, web hosting. I know it can sound a little technical, maybe even intimidating. But honestly, it's the foundation for everything you're about to build online. And in the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down, piece by piece. So, let's dive right in. Okay, so you've done all the fun, creative stuff. You've got the perfect design, the words are just right, your website is built and ready to go. But that brings up a huge question. Where is it actually going to live so that anyone, anywhere can find it? You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around this is with a simple analogy. Think about it like you're building a house. Your website, that's the house itself, all the rooms, the furniture, the paint on the walls. The web hosting, that's the piece of land you build the house on. And the domain name, well, that's just the street address, so people know how to find you. Simple, right? We're going to keep coming back to this idea. So if web hosting is the digital land for your website, what is that land actually made of? Let's pull back the curtain and see what you're really getting when you sign up for a hosting service. At its very core, web hosting is basically a rental service. You're renting a small, dedicated space on a super powerful computer called a server. And on that space, you store all of your website's files. We're talking the code, the images, the text, the whole shebang. This service is the magic ingredient that makes your site visible to the entire world. And that's the whole job of a server. Just picture a really powerful computer that is always on, always connected to the internet 24/7. It never sleeps, it never takes a coffee break. Its one and only purpose is to serve up your website's files to anyone who types in your address. That's how your website stays available, day or night. Now, just like in the real world, not all plots of land are the same, right? You've got different neighborhoods with different vibes, different perks, and of course, different price tags. So let's take a tour of the four main types of web hosting to figure out which neighborhood is the perfect fit for you. First up, we have shared hosting. The perfect way to think about this is like living in an apartment building. It's hands down the most popular and affordable option out there because you're sharing the building, which is the server, and all of its resources, like electricity and plumbing, with a bunch of other tenants, or in this case, other websites. So the upside here is pretty obvious, especially for beginners. It's the cheapest option by far, and the hosting company handles all the technical stuff so you don't have to. It's absolutely perfect for a personal blog, a simple portfolio, or a small business just starting out. But the downside is a direct result of all that sharing. If another website on your server suddenly gets a ton of traffic, kind of like a noisy neighbor throwing a huge party, it can actually slow your website down too. All right, our next option is a really nice step up. This is VPS, which stands for Virtual Private Server Hosting. So, if shared hosting is an apartment, think of VPS as being like a townhouse. You're still sharing the main building with a few neighbors, but, and this is key, you have your own partitioned space with your own dedicated resources. Nobody else can use your driveway or tap into your water heater. The big deal here is all about control and consistent performance. The major pro is that your neighbor's traffic will never affect your website. Plus, you get way more control to customize your server. That's what root access means. But the trade-off is that with more control comes a bit more responsibility. You need a little more technical know-how to manage it. This is a great fit for businesses that are starting to grow or for developers who need more power than shared hosting can offer. Next on our tour is cloud hosting. This one's a little different. It's kind of like living in a futuristic, interconnected community. Instead of your website living on just one single server, its files are spread across a whole network of connected servers that all work together. And this creates an incredible safety net for your site. The biggest advantage here is just how reliable and scalable it is. If one server in the network has a problem, the others just instantly pick up the slack. This means your site almost never goes down. And if you get a sudden flood of visitors, say from a viral post or a big sale, the cloud can instantly scale up your resources to handle it. The main drawback? Well, this advanced tech can be a bit more expensive. Cloud hosting is fantastic for e-commerce stores, fast-going startups, or any site with unpredictable traffic. And finally, we arrive at the absolute top of the line, dedicated hosting. This is the real estate equivalent of owning your own private estate. No neighbors, no sharing. You get an entire physical server all to yourself, dedicated 100% to your website. With a private estate comes ultimate power. You have total control over every single aspect of the server. That's what full root access is all about. You can choose the operating system, set up custom security, install whatever you want. It is incredibly powerful. The cons, as you can probably guess, are the high price tag and the fact that you really need to be a technical expert to manage it all. This is the solution for large corporations, huge e-commerce sites, and any big-time operation that needs maximum performance and security. Okay, so you've explored the neighborhoods and you have an idea of what you want. Now, you've got to choose a good landlord, or in our case, a hosting provider. And believe me, this is a really important decision that's going to affect your website's performance and, honestly, your own peace of mind. Here are a few things that are pretty much non-negotiable. First, look for a high uptime guarantee. That's the percentage of time they promise your site will be online and working. You want to see something like 99.9% or higher. Next, 24/7 customer support is a must because, trust me, website problems don't wait for business hours. You also need strong security features like firewalls and malware scanning to keep your site and your visitors safe. And finally, check for an easy-to-use control panel and, of course, read reviews from other customers. All right, let's quickly tackle one more thing that trips up almost everybody when they're just starting out. What is the actual difference between a domain name and web hosted? Let's bring our analogy all the way home. The domain name, like theexplainershow.com, is just the street address. That's it. It doesn't store anything, it just tells browsers where to go. The web hosting is the actual plot of land where your website's house is built and where all your files are stored. You absolutely need both of them for a website to work, but they are two separate things that you often buy from different places. And there you have it. From shared apartments all the way up to private estates, you now understand the entire landscape of web hosting. You have the blueprint you need for your website's digital home. The only thing left to do now, it's to start building. Remember, choosing the right hosting isn't just some boring technical detail. It's the foundation of your entire online project. It affects your site's speed, its security, everything. So now that you've got the blueprint, it's time to find your little piece of the internet and build something amazing. Thanks for watching.